I just want to say I appreciate you. I really do.
Okay, well, I appreciate you too, honey.
It's about time. Hey, do you have appreciation in your relationship, or do you find yourself taking each other for granted? In today's podcast, Sissy and I, we're going to go over some of the things we do to show appreciation, but also some of the things that I've missed.
A lot of them, okay? And
stay tuned.
Same here. What the cricket?
Sometimes we get crickets, so what?
Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back to another episode of the Blissology podcast. I am your host, Cece, the one and only, and I'm joined by my husband, the one and only.
Everybody, this is Will. Welcome back. We're glad to have you.
Yes.
If this is your first time with us, remember to subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you don't get missed out on these videos, but also share it. I mean, we're looking to grow this audience and we're counting on you to do this. So this is a weekly podcast where we talk about
love, life, relationship, politics, and whatever else is going on. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the world today.
Oh, tell me about it.
There's a lot going on. So, I mean, we don't really like to talk much about politics.
We don't talk about politics. I think we acknowledge things that are happening around us. And I think lately there's been a lot. It's like you turn on the news, although we're not the type of watch the news, but with the kids going back to school.
Every morning I have to.
We have to know what's going on.
Yes.
Hey, if there's a major outbreak at the school, we need to know.
Right.
Although they're pretty good at notifying, but and by turning on the news, we kind of get everything else that comes with the news.
Oh my God. It's been so depressing lately.
So she watches it.
I do.
I don't.
I do. In the morning, I have to turn on the TV. My girls go to school. Our country is just going through so much. And other country is going through so much. I mean, it's just like, what is going on? I feel very grateful.
Yeah, because first it was the assassination of the president.
Right.
An earthquake.
Recently.
And just 2 days ago, a hurricane. I mean, I know back home it's difficult.
It's just heartbreaking.
When you look at in other parts of the world, like in the Middle East, there's been a lot of craziness happening.
Yes.
As well. So, and every day we get more notifications that more kids are being tested positive.
We're talking about just a week of being back, right? Just a week.
We're in the second week. We're halfway through the second week. So
it's just insane. Like so many cases, and it's just like too much. And I'm like, I feel like just let the kids be home. I mean, as much as I want them to go to school, I'm just waiting for, to hear from our governor to see what they're going to do when it comes to the school. Like there's so many cases every single day. I mean, we've gotten emails.
Well, I'm not waiting for the governor to say bring the kids back to school. What I'm doing is every day make sure that the kids know what they need to do while they are out there. And I'm very confident in my older one.
Yes.
She is like the mask police.
Yes.
She's on point.
Right.
And the little one is right behind her. However, the younger you are, the less you comprehend what's going on. And the older one is at the stage where she knows what's happening.
Yes. She's very aware.
Yes. And so, we have to live. We have to live.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Life has to go on. And I believe if each and every one of us take proper precaution when it comes to this pandemic, we'll be okay.
Whatever happened to 6 feet? I mean, when I pick up the kids from school, everybody just like around each other,
Well, there's no mandate on campus for neither masks nor social distancing.
Well, that's why there's so many cases, right, you guys?
It's just,
I mean,
it's normal.
I know it's not only in Florida. It's like, it's everywhere. But in Florida, I feel like there's so many cases and there's a lot of...
Well, it's just close to home and we get regular reports, especially in the county that we're in. They report every cases that happens in the school. So yes, we at the forefront of getting that information.
I just listen. As much as I don't want, as much as I want the kids to be safe, to be home with me, where I'm able to keep an eye and make sure they're safe. Of course, I want them to be in school and be with their friends, and they prefer, and it's a lot better for them too. The environment is a lot better, and they learn a lot. They learn a lot, and they interact with other kids and with their friends. But I was telling my husband, why not do a schedule where they have less kids come to class on a certain days.
Schedule.
Like the one that goes to school on Monday don't come until Wednesday. That way, if there's 24 kids in the classroom, 12 comes on Monday, 12 comes on Tuesday, and then 12 comes on, they rotate. Or
well, logistically speaking, that's going to take a whole lot, and I'm not sure the school has the resources, and parents that are working, it becomes a burden for them. That means someone has to watch the kids. So there's a number of other things that play into this.
It's a lot.
And because I could see where some of us are fortunate enough to be able to have a spouse who can watch the kids. In a household where both parents are working,
yeah,
the kid's not going to school half of the week and they can't stay home by themselves. What do you do?
Right.
Because many daycares will not take them half a week.
Well, I truly feel like that's why a lot of parents wanted the kids to go back to school last year, because I know for sure when the kids were virtual last year, there was this kid that would go to YMCA and it was hard for them.
Yes.
It was really hard for the guy that was watching him because he wasn't learning as much. He wasn't paying attention. And it was hard for the parents as well because the kids wasn't willing to, he wasn't focused. The point. Because when you outside of school, it's a lot.
It's different.
It's different.
It's a different environment.
Right.
And that's why it's always best to not look at this just one side of it and not consider the other side. This whole thing means different thing to different people. Where some of us were like, great, let's do virtual learning. You have the resources, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Many parents don't have that resource.
Right. And I don't want the virtual learning.
They count on the school to do so. And for the kids, I don't think virtual is the best thing.
Some kids are not. Some kids prefer to be on campus. Some kids like it because I know on the news, when I watch the news, some kids prefer to just be virtual. They learn a lot easier. They don't have to worry about kids making fun of them. They don't have to worry about kids bullying them. So, it just depends. It depends on the kids. Everybody,
a kid like this needs social. If you worry about bullying, you need to be out with others so you can develop the skills of dealing with others.
That's what you said, but everybody's different.
I know, but socially speaking, we all have to develop. If someone preferred to just be put on a corner, how do you expect to be in a workplace where you'll have to work with people if you've lived all your life being in a little corner? So,
and then again, it's the parents and the kid, right? The parents make the decision, and if it's something that works for them, it works for them. Yeah,
and that's where this is going to come down to what it is that how do you see yourself going through this?
Yeah,
thing? Yeah. If you fear that you're gonna die of this COVID thing, you'll go nowhere. You'll just lock yourself up in a closet and eat in there, shower in there. And
last year for sure, we were all doing that last year.
No, I was out.
We were all, but we barely went out last year. We're doing that last year. We're home. I'm wearing the same clothes for 5 or 6 days. No. Wearing the same sweatpants. Eat a lot of potato chips and eat a lot of grill. Gain 50 pounds. Gain 50 pounds. I get a few. Listen, a lot happened last year. Okay, we don't want to repeat what happened last year.
Yeah, but a lot's already happening this year, especially in recent weeks.
And the thing is, though, you know what? There's not that many deaths this year yet. Thank God, because keep our finger crossed, right? Because I guess because people, with the vaccines and it's a lot. People
the
get
hospitals, I believe, are better equipped now. We understand how to treat or deal with COVID a lot better. So when people get to the hospital, I think the treatment is better. Hey, listen, I don't wish to catch this thing. I don't wish anyone catching it. But I think unless we take proper precautions, we're all vulnerable.
Yeah.
So
we just want, yeah.
Listen, I've been out since the beginning of this whole pandemic. And yes, you'll see me with my face wrapped up wherever I go.
We have not been eating out.
And I don't intend to catch it. And yes, I will continue to wrap my face as long as I can.
Yep.
Right. And keep my distance away from people. I don't want to give it to anyone because who knows? I may have I haven't been tested for this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I haven't developed any symptoms that would make me want to get tested.
Right.
But I've been out. But one thing I'll tell you for sure that I've always kept my face wrapped. I don't get close to people.
Your face under your mouth.
I keep my face wrapped. Isn't that what people were going over, that they didn't want to wrap their face? A lot of people make a lot of big deal about wearing this mask because they said the mask is covering their face. They needed freedom of face or face freedom, whatever you called it. Yes.
I'm just now hearing this. Freedom of face.
I made that up. But people were saying their freedoms were being taken away because they had to wear masks. I'm assuming it was face freedom.
Yeah, I guess it's such
or freedom of the face.
I guess it's such thing. Listen, guys, we just want you to take care of your little ones. Take care of your little ones. Take care of your babies. Take care of yourself. You know, just do what you think is right for you and your family, okay? Because people are doing crazy things and the world is like upside down right now.
The world has been upside down for ages.
Listen,
it's just taking different shapes and forms.
That.
Yes, that's a whole different topic.
Yeah,
so
we will never talk about that on here unless if it has its own channel. But yeah, just take precautions out there because it's crazy. If you have little ones that goes to school, please make sure they wear their mask. Please make sure they keep it on.
Well, if you're a mask believer, there's a lot of people that don't believe in wearing masks.
Please don't care. Don't worry about what other people do. Do what's right for you and your family. Okay? It's crazy. Do what's right for you and your family. So now let's get into the topic of the day.
Do you show appreciation in your relationship, or do you take each other for granted? I don't take it for granted.
I think you do.
I know that for a fact. I don't.
I think you do.
How? I say thank you most of the time when I remember. Well, I say thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I've always remembered to say thank you.
Listen, baby.
Just so I don't forget, when we sit on the dinner table, I say thank you before I start eating. And then I say thank you in the middle of my meal. And then I say thank you again when I'm done.
Okay.
So I say thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, yes, you do sometimes. You do sometimes. And a lot of people don't see the need of saying thank you to their spouse. You know, they don't understand that appreciation is the key. Is the key to any relationship. Doesn't matter if you married, if you are dating someone. It doesn't matter. You gotta show your appreciation. Make that person feel like, you know, hey, I appreciate what you're doing for me. I appreciate what you've done for the family or what you're doing for the family. It just makes us feel good on the inside. There's some men out there, they barely tell the wife that I appreciate you, babe. I appreciate dinner. They just feel like, hey, just because I marry you, you're supposed to put food on the table. Or you're supposed to wash my clothes. You're supposed to be doing this. No. Yeah,
it's your job, they say.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, parts of the world where people think this way. But yes, I mean, it's important to show people that you value what they do. In fact, as human beings, I think we
crave it.
Yes, we look for someone to acknowledge what we do, especially in a relationship.
Of course.
You know, so yes, some may need it more than others.
I do.
Like I could do something and you don't say anything, I'm good with it. But Sissy, if she does something, you don't catch it, you hear about it.
I want to make sure you hear about it like the other night.
Yes, like the other night. But you know where this is important is if your spouse or your partner calls you out on something, this is not when you get upset or you make excuses.
Did you get upset?
No. Actually, I should have gotten upset, but I didn't because I know better. But yeah, if you get called out on something, it's not to cause problems. Sometimes it's to help you understand.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that's done in a relationship that takes a lot of effort. A lot of effort. Like I tell you, I'm good at mopping the house. tile floors, a lot of
Okay.
it. And it takes time. And when you have kids, moppings take 4 times as long because they put things on the floor and all that stuff. Now I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm.
After I'm done mopping the house, it's spotless. And yes, she acknowledges this. I mean, she has this thing that she said, the house feels light.
I
I'm
always
like, how does a house feel light? But when she makes that comment, I know I did a good job. So I do it first because I know it's important to get done, but it makes me feel good when I know someone sees all that, because it'll take me 2 hours to sweep and mop the house.
Yes.
Yes. Now, I'm a
2
stickler.
hours
I'm
is
a
a
little bit
long
of I'm a
time.
little bit of a stickler for cleanliness. I'll make sure if I clean something that it's clean.
2 hours, baby?
Yes.
You're exaggerating right now.
It'll take me 2 hours to sweep the house and mop it. I'm not a fast mopper, but I'm a good mopper. So cut me a break now. Otherwise, I will not make the house feels light.
Okay. Listen, yes, you do. You're right. I mean, I do like, I show my appreciation. I'm one of those women, I'm one of those wife that when you do something for me and I do tell you, babe, thank you and I appreciate you, and I don't know how it makes you feel, but it makes me feel good by letting you know, right? Because not because I marry you as your wife, you are entitled to be doing the dishes or mopping the house or get dinner together. But I think it's also a good way for your spouse to show this kindness. Like, hey, I see what you're doing. I value you. I appreciate what you're doing for the family.
So, it's important to understand that when you recognize
Mm-hmm.
your spouse, when you show them that you appreciate what they do, that's in a way you showing them how much you love them as an individual, but how they support the family as well.
Yes.
Face it, no one wants to be taken for granted. Here's one thing you got to remember. If you allow yourself to be taken for granted, you will be taken for granted.
But how do you stop, someone from doing that?
Well, clear example.
Mm-hmm.
If you've done stuff, your spouse never shows you that they appreciate you, but do you ever bring it up to them? This would be nice if you showed me that you really value what I did. And this is where talking to your spouse, bringing these things are important, because sometimes someone may go and not acknowledge these things
Mm-hmm.
because to them it's not a big deal, and to you it becomes not of a big deal. Now it may be hurting you inside, but if you never bring it up,
Mm-hmm.
the other person may never realize that you feel this way.
Yep.
Because I'll tell you, from the way I see things, there's a lot of things that are not big deals for me.
True.
However, if it's no big deal for you either, these may become things that we just don't do. But if
I'm
it's a
the
big deal,
opposite.
yeah, you.
Listen, I'm the opposite.
But it's a good thing, because what you find when you show your spouse that you appreciate what they do, they'll do it more
Mm-hmm.
without complaining, and they'll keep finding ways to do it better, because they're looking for you to find little things more about it to say, man, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like my wife is good at doing macaroni and cheese the Haitian way. And she'll find little ingredients to put in there because she knows that once I get on there, I'm probably going to clean the plate and then tell her this is what I like about it.
Yeah.
Right? So when you show someone you appreciate what they do, and that goes for a number of other things that we do here, and we do our best to show each other, hey, I like this. Like my wife likes when I do projects, when I get onto something and I start it and I finish it, and she would stand there and says, my man is a handyman.
I sure do.
That makes me want to take on the next project and show her how handy I can get. So all of these things are important.
I sure do.
Like the fact that she comes and says the house feels light after I cleaned it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that she gets a lighthouse whenever I can.
Oh my God. Okay.
So appreciation gets your partner to do more of the
Right.
things and do it better.
True.
And it helps. Like when we cook, she'll do the cooking and we eat, and if the dishes are in the sink, I'll wash them.
Yeah, which is
Or
what
I get them in the dishwasher and run it.
right.
But either way, it shows that I did something. And yes,
Exactly.
I thank her for the food, but she thanks me for cleaning back there.
I do. And I think what you said is exactly what a lot of husbands out there, they don't show the appreciation when the wife do something different, right? Let's say for instance you come home every day, it's always the same type of food, and then one day you come home after work, you got like this nice meal, and you're like, whoa, what's going on, and then the wife is like, hey babe, this is all for you, I just want to show you my appreciation. I mean, not her saying it per se, but it's like, her putting it together, and then you sat down, you eat the whole food, you didn't even acknowledge
Or you even
or you
burp,
even
like,
say nothing to her. There's a lot of men out there who don't really see when the wife put, like just put the thought together of putting something together for you, right? Like I would tell my husband sometimes, when I dress a certain way, it's it's me showing you off in a way, right? It's not like, okay, I want him to see me in this nice red dress. And when he sees me, is he gonna say, baby, you look good? Is he gonna say?
I will say that. I've always said that you look good.
But I'm just saying, like, there's some men out there, they don't really, the wife go through all the effort, all the crazy, all the headaches to look good, but the husband barely notice them.
Maybe they need glasses.
Barely say anything, right? I mean,
maybe they need glasses. They can't see.
Appreciation comes with complimenting your wife, right? Like, hey babe, this was so good. Like, one thing that really gets me is when I do something for my husband and he compliments me over and over again, and that makes me want to do it more and more and more. And I always surprise him with
she doesn't realize that's my trick to get more stuff.
Oh really? Now I know.
Now the secret's out. I guess I'm not getting stuff anymore.
You are, baby.
She's so good.
One thing
I gotta say, she does what she can to help her brother out.
But when you don't show appreciation to your wife, that's why a lot of time it breaks marriage, it breaks your relations, whoever that you're with.
Who wants to be in a relationship when they're working hard, but it's never acknowledged by the other person that their hard work is important?
Right.
If you don't require the other partner, or at least if you don't bring it up to the other partner that showing appreciation is important to you.
Thank you for the tea, honey.
Then you are welcome. I made some tea and she thanked me for it.
Simple.
Although it's been my responsibility to make the tea. So I was told.
I still thank you every night. Thank you, babe.
So as I was saying earlier, if you're in a relationship where you're not being appreciated, do something about it. Mm-hmm. And the something may be you bring it up to your partner, how important it is for you to get some recognition for what you do. Because your partner may never realize that that's something that's important to you. Yes.
But I want to say, so how do you know if your partner doesn't feel appreciated?
Oh,
right?
there are some signs. There are some signs. There has to be.
How do I know if I don't feel like when I cook something, you don't say thank you? If I wear this nice dress and we go out, you don't compliment me on the dress.
Yeah, those are some things. Or every little thing you do, we're trying to find ways to argue it. Everything becomes an issue.
Everything becomes an issue.
Yeah, because you're kind of like on edge. You pass by me the wrong way, I have a problem with it.
True.
And you become very emotional. Everything touches
very
you.
Irritating.
Yes. I mean, because, it's everything turns into a little argument.
Make plans, like we make plans without even like consulting each other.
Well, yeah, you're not important. So they just make their plans and they go about doing their things. And you just kind of sit around and see things happening.
Oh, wow. Why am I having flashback?
Flashback? I haven't done that.
Not you, baby. Someone else.
Yeah. Or they make no effort towards being romantic.
That's what kills the marriage.
I know.
That's what kills
Talking about intimacy.
They
don't know what they're missing.
They don't know what they're
missing. I
know.
Or they appear distant.
Or they're getting it somewhere else.
They have their reasons.
I'm just saying.
Don't do that. Only I do this.
This is an emoji, okay? This is an emoji for that. I'm just saying.
But yeah, those are some of the things that if you notice in your relationship you're seeing some of those characteristics, that's a good thing.
Mhm.
This is probably some of the symptoms
Right.
of, lack of appreciation, lack of communication that's causing your partner to start acting, this way towards you,
Right.
or you acting that way towards your partner. So how do you get over this? How do you fix that?
Mm. How do you fix that?
Well, I haven't been in a situation like this, so I haven't had to fix it.
Just pay attention to your partner, and just pay full attention when it comes to, we talk about communication a lot on this podcast, right? Communication is like number one, the key. Okay, that's the other key.
Well, communication seems to me like it has a solution to a lot of problems.
Yes.
A lot of relationship problems.
I would say pay full attention when your partner speaks with you. Like, look at them straight in the eye.
Stare at them. But not just pay attention. Listen. Because sometimes we hear people, but we don't listen.
That's a good one, babe. That's true.
Yeah, so sometimes we hear. I know I've had instances where
When
I heard,
talk
but
too much.
but I
I've
didn't
been told.
listen.
I've been told I talk too much. That's okay.
When your spouse talk a lot, you probably would hear about 20. No, you can hear more than 20% of what they say.
I don't
if you're
talk a
paying
lot,
attention.
baby. What made you think I talk a lot? What made you say that?
You always have a lot to say.
Well, baby, I just have things to share with you.
Okay, that means you share a whole lot.
Oh my God. But I don't do it all the time. Oh, you know what, guys? I'm just going to pull back. I'm not going to say much anymore. And then I'm sure he's going to bring it on here and said, you know what? I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should never say what I said on the podcast because my wife stopped talking.
We talked about habits.
She's talking less.
There are people, when they have a habit, they just can't hold themselves. They just have to.
God gave me the mouth
say
to talk. In the brain.
Wait, listen, I believe the more we speak, the more we can express ourselves. And speak to your partner.
Yes.
As irritated as it may seem to them, if you speak enough, they'll listen. Or they may get irritated and leave. So don't push them over the edge or hurt.
Better not go anywhere.
But pay attention to little things.
Yes.
That's something that's important.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how big or small something is. Pay attention and recognize that it's been done, either by thinking or do something to show that what you did, it's important to me.
If they iron your clothes or cook your food because you were too lazy and too tired to do it.
If they iron your clothes, one day when you put that shirt on and that pants on, you say, "Baby, you did a great job ironing this. My pants have not been that flat in years.
It's crazy.
Or my shirt fits better when you ironed it. So make sure next week
But
I'm
then
just
next
kidding.
time we can be very exaggerating too, right? But it's the thing, right? Like you say, thank them. Like little things matter. It counts too.
And point out how good of a job they did. I mean, I'm talking about details in certain things. Say, for instance, if the food is good, yes, you can say the food is good all the time, then it becomes repetitive. No, pick something that makes it good and share that. The spice was on point this time. Oh, it had too much salt.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I mean,
Right.
you have to be able to take that. And if your husband said
if it had too much salt, you need to
too
tell
much
him it had too much
salt,
salt.
if the rice is not tasty, hey babe, listen, I don't know what's going on here. I've had better. Or you've cooked better. But no, don't say that. I'm just kidding.
Some people can't take criticism.
They can't.
Yeah, some
I'm
people
not
will
one
just
of
shut
them.
down on you.
If my husband tell me about either the food has a little bit too much salt or whatever, I'll make sure that next time it's just. Then again, you know us, we don't really have measurements, so we just go along however it tastes. Unfortunately, we don't have a recipe. We don't do recipes, so and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, and this is how for you to grow, right? This is how you grow in your relationship. That where your spouse is able to tell you, "Hey, listen, this is what happened," and then next time you do better.
Yeah. And when it comes to food, those are great dinner table conversation. Talking about how good the food is, and they responded and share with you how long it took to cook, and you'll talk about it. But make this a regular thing. It's not like I try to I try to recognize things this week and then next week nothing happens, the week after, and then I remember 2 months later and I try to. No, this seems to be a regular thing you do, and that's just not just one partner. I'm talking about both partners, because
Yes.
what one partner does is important, and what the other partner does is just as important. So it's a two-way thing. Because if I'm the only one always complimenting and or always acknowledging that, always showing appreciation, the other partner is like, yeah. So I'm becoming the one that's being taken for granted while I'm pouring my heart out. What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to have some issues with it. And one day I'm going to snap. And you may not be able to handle me.
Appreciation is not just about food.
Oh, no.
Not food, not intimacy, not just. I also feel like appreciation is when you know that your spouse had a long day, either at work or at home, taking care of the kids or do whatever. And then you come home and bring, just surprise them, right? You surprise your spouse with either a card, or flowers, chocolate. I mean, it's just the little things that matter that counts when it comes to you showing appreciation, right? Like, babe, I appreciate you doing this. I know you've had a long week or a long day. So here's me showing my appreciation, me showing this, giving you this, right? I mean, it's not like we expect you to do it all the times, but a Wednesday, just because, you just bring a bouquet of flowers.
Or you can come home
Or
you can come home, you give your wife or your husband or your partner the biggest hug that you could. And you hold them tight and you tell them how much you love them, how much you appreciate them. So it's not always something about some physical thing that you get and give.
Yep.
So many times it's about the bond, sometimes the physical connection that you've built with this person. Because I'll tell you, a hug with some nice words can take you far.
Oh, yes. Okay. Shakespeare.
Yeah, but however you do it, I think it's important. Like, for instance, Sis is big on foot massage. So if she had along there, she asked me for a foot massage, although sometimes I don't feel like massaging foot, but I will go and massage her feet.
You don't. And when you do give me the look, I'm like, you know what? I don't want it no more.
But I still do it.
I don't want it no more. Oh.
I still do it. So yes. And these are the little things that, because I'm thinking, like, for instance, on days that you could, I'm not a cook. I don't cook much. I can fry some eggs, but I know when you stand in the kitchen, the hot stove, and all these other things, you get tired at the end of the day. And sometimes we barely cook our native food, but once we do, it takes hours. I don't know why it takes so long, but it does. So after you're done cooking,
hours.
If you're done cooking Haitian food, you gotta take a break.
You gotta take
and you'll
a
need
nap.
a foot massage. And sometimes you gotta take a vacation. Yes.
Oh my God. We don't cook that. Good thing we don't cook Haitian food as much.
Yeah, you don't cook that as often. We're lazy when it comes to cooking. We will look for
we're not lazy.
We don't do fast food, but we look for healthy and quick things.
Right.
Like, I'll do the grilled chicken because it's very quick to do.
And it's healthier too. Like, we don't have. Here's the thing. Okay, I know our parents. They know that we from there. We are born and raised, but at the same time, we don't have to adapt to the same thing. We don't have to do exactly the rice, the beans, the chicken all the time. We just gotta be able to. That's what they're here for, right? We go to mom's house. Hey, mom. I know she doesn't do it anymore as much either. So we don't really have to. Your mom barely cook it too. We don't really. Your mom is upgrade. She barely cook rice. She barely cook beans and chicken. She, sweet potatoes and some broccoli and some chicken breast. It's enough for you to eat. It doesn't take 2 hours. It only take you an hour, sometimes 30 minutes to put that together, and you have a nice healthy meal, and you're done.
But on days that your spouse spend a whole lot of time in the kitchen preparing meals, and at the end of the day, if they need a massage of some sort, Give it to them. They deserve it.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't complain
true.
like I do
True.
sometimes.
You,
Because I don't
you,
like massaging feet. But I've learned to be okay with it. Yeah, I do.
okay.
That's my honest, true opinion. I do.
Listen, you a mess. I'm just saying.
Sometimes you get to do things that you don't like because you know it's important to the other person.
But I still appreciate you though.
I know if
still-
you don't show me that you appreciate that I massage your food, I
still
won't do them
appreciate
anymore.
it. I still say, baby, you know what? I know you don't feel like doing it, but thank you.
What if she doesn't fall asleep?
Listen, sometimes I'm like out. Sometimes when he's massaging my feet and I had a long day and it's just like I'm tired. By the time he gets to the second foot, I'm like out. But yeah, and I do appreciate him too for doing that. And it's just the thing. It's just the small things that count, that matters. We appreciate the fact that he takes the time to do things. And even when we not on a schedule to go out. Right now we can't really go out as much because of COVID, right? But even prior to COVID, we'll have our schedule to go out. But which is like twice a month. There's time when it's not on our schedule. He just like surprised me, babe. Let's just go by the beach or let's go for a walk. Let's just do things. All these things makes me appreciate my husband more. And it's just something that you want your spouse to do just because I appreciate you, just because I see you had a long day. I'm massaging your feet or I'm massaging your scalp or I'm doing something that I know that you appreciate, that you like, that you love. So all these things is something, and it's so little, guys. It's so small.
Let me just
put
a little bit of a disclaimer here. I know she may portray me to be a saint and a good guy. You wouldn't believe how many times I've screwed up. so don't think that, hey, Will is like the perfect guy that gets it all right.
No.
I have my issues. But you know what? I know that I have my issues.
You do.
And I'm willing to work at them. So that's
the good part about you too. You have your issues, but you're willing to. And I think it's for both of us.
Yes, and you know what? In any relationship, that's what helps you get there. I will never want to present myself to be the perfect man. I know that I am not, and I will never be. However, I can keep trying. Yes, just last night, she did some stuff, and I completely didn't see it.
And
she sat there and says, you know I did this. You could have at least said that. Hey, we miss stuff.
I'm like my mom. I'm reminding you. I'm going to let you know what you did was wrong.
I miss stuff. And she misses stuff as well. Now, I'm a lot kinder to her. I don't call her out as much as she calls me out. And I want you to
call me out. It's good to call me out so that way I don't do it next time. I remember to do it next time.
I told you and I, we're different. With things that are no big deal to me, I'm good to go. But then, you, on the other hand, you how you are. And that's okay. But what I'm saying is...
I'm just me.
You just you. What I'm saying is... If you don't get it all the time, there's nothing wrong with that. At least don't fight with your spouse if they call you, or your partner if they call you out. Look in yourself and say, did I really miss that? And if you missed it, acknowledge that you did. Don't make up excuses. Don't start putting other reasons on it, to try and make it seem like it's okay that you missed it. No. Mm-hmm. If you missed it, you missed it. Mm-hmm. You know what? That tells your partner you're humble, you're human, and you acknowledge that there are certain things that are important.
Yeah.
Because once you start making excuses, all you're telling your partner that it's okay that I missed it. I can give you a number of reasons why. Yeah. And that's not right.
It would never work for me if I'm with someone that don't acknowledge my effort. We would never work out. If we're in a relationship, you have to be able to acknowledge your spouse. Hey, babe, I know you've been taking care of all 3, 4 kids, even if it's just one kid, I thank you. I appreciate you for all the hard work, not sleeping at night, taking care of the kids or home with the kids doing this and that. I mean, it will be sucks to do all this work and not having a spouse who will show you appreciation, who will appreciate you doing all this work. I mean, I thank God my husband is not like that as much. Just, he's human. I understand that. And he was not someone who you were never like that to begin with. You're not the type of person that, right? Am I right? So it's just a matter of, as time goes by and you tend to learn and you adapt to things and you make that part of your
routine.
Yes.
And you grow together.
Absolutely.
Take responsibility for each other, support each other, protect each other, and love each other. After all, that's why we're in a relationship.
That's why, exactly.
Absolutely. So, everybody, thank you for listening to our...
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
We love you.
I'm forbidden to say that I love anybody else besides my wife, so I can't say I love you.
That's not for me. That's your own rules.
I am forbidden.
Okay.
To say I love you to anyone else. But I do appreciate all of you who's been part of this community that we're trying to build. Yes. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, we appreciate you. And please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we put these videos out. For those of you who's been with us since the beginning, we appreciate you and keep supporting the channel and share it with your friends, family members, anyone that you come across you think this may be beneficial to. And keep sharing your comments. Keep letting us know how this either shared stuff with you that you weren't aware of, or share your experience on how you've dealt with some of these things in your own relationship. And remember to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, SoundCloud, and obviously you're watching us on YouTube. So
before you end, I want to say it doesn't cost anyone anything to share this page with friends and family. All it is just you supporting this channel. It costs you nothing, nada, zero, right? If you're gonna share it, hey, listen, I've been watching Cece and her husband, the Blissology podcast. They're great. They get great tips and great information. Go check them out. How much does that cost you? Nothing. Share the love, right? All we ask is we're simply asking for you to just share with your friends and your family. And it costs you zero money.
Sis got a point. So on that note, thank you again. And we'll see you next Saturday. Peace. Bye.